Fantastic to see you again, and we are with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Eat Bar in Barracks Row. Also, you have the Partisan right next door, Red Apron in Penn Quarter, and the Sovereign in Georgetown for your Belgian beer delights. Greg, it is always good to see you.
You too, bud.
What's on tap this week?
This week we have a really special beer from a friend of mine up in upstate New York, the Hudson River Valley. It's Dan Suarez and his amazing Suarez family brewery. This beer is called Whistlin. So Dan Suarez makes incredible beers. He's known for like delicious classic pilsners, pale lagers, low ABV pale ales, and then he's got a host of barrels where he's playing around with all sorts of rustic country farmhouse ales. This is one he's blended from many barrels and then finished with locally grown lemongrass.
And it's
called Whistlin,
and it's the
Suarez family brewery.
The style is
barrel aged mixed fermentation saison with lemongrass.
And notice I won the pour.
Yeah, we gave him more.
Here. He's a nice guy.
I was actually lucky to share a bottle of this with Dan when my wife and I actually went up to visit Dan and his wife, Taylor, a few weeks back. And it's just remarkable. What's really cool is that lemongrass can be extremely overpowering, but this beer has aged a bit, and I feel like the lemongrass is so well integrated. Also really nice, clean barrels and beer. The acidity here is very light. It's very, very delicate. The barrel character's there without being overwhelming. Altogether, it's 5.6% alcohol, but it's extremely refreshing. It's crisp, it's dry, and it's nuanced.
I just think this is like this week and last week and the week before, you have brought me the trifecta of beers that have just surprised me, and I don't think I've had anything quite like any of the three.
Yeah.
So,
and they're all part of like the same. Yeah, it is.
Thank you. And
they're all part of the same kind of movement of modern masters in American brewing. You know, Sean Johnson at Birds Fly South, Chase Healy at American Solera, Dan Suarez, Suarez Family Brewery, making these mixed culture beers where you have, you know, standard kind of Belgian style ale yeast. You have different strains of Brettanomyces. You have oftentimes Lactobacillus, sometimes Pediococcus. And all together, they give you this restrained complexity that's not overwhelming. Great barrel character, beautiful blend, sometimes with fruit. Amazing. And all three of these guys have great pedigrees in brewing, but all of their breweries are small, rustic, and have only been open for a little over a year. So there's kind of like this new guard of American mixed fermentation producers, and they're all wonderful.
All right, so what's the family story? Is he, you know, forcing his family into labor? You know, mom and dad are down working in the basement, clearing out the grain.
He's not forcing them, but they're there. Yes, his parents are there actually, and they help out. They hang around. They help tag bottles. It's an amazing thing, you know. So Dan and his wife Taylor, they're the family behind this little brewery in upstate New York in Livingston. You should check it out. North of New York City, south of Albany on Route 9. Phenomenal place. His brother actually and his brother's wife, have a restaurant nearby in Germantown called Gaskin's. So if you hit up the brewery, you got to have dinner at Gaskin's. It's really amazing. But Dan worked in New York City at Greenpoint and then at Six Point, and then he scored an amazing job working for Sean Hill at Hill Farmstead up in Vermont for 3 years. And then he left in 2013 and went about trying to get his brewery together. But he was inspired by these small family-run breweries that he visited with Sean in Belgium. These places that make incredible beer, and then you get there and it's literally their house, a little brewery out back, world-class beers they make this much of just to, you know, get by. They're not trying to, you know, grow and be huge, and that's the idea. So as far as Family Brewery, it's the same thing. Dan and Taylor and their son Enzo literally live upstairs from the brewery. They have a little guest house on the property, and they are living the kind of idyllic upstate New York life outside of the city, producing world-class beer and having a great time. It's really a place that shouldn't be missed, especially if you're on the East Coast.
Nirvana.
It's amazing.
Nirvana. Now you're from upstate New York.
I'm from, actually nearby, near Albany, Schenectady area. So
now it will have been 3 weeks since this airs, since we've taped this. So we're hoping the Giants are going to be doing better by then.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure they're 0-6.
I'm sorry.
Unless they've had a bye and then they're 0-5, honestly.
My
Because
Seahawks aren't doing so great either.
they're better than the Giants.
I've only been up to upstate New York once at FDR's place, and God, it's gorgeous.
It's it's beautiful.
ridiculous.
This isn't far, so you should check it out next time.
What would you pair it with?
Lemongrass brings me to, Thai curries and all sorts of things like that. Beef satay. It's awesome Vietnamese, like banh mi. It would be fantastic sandwich for that. You could do it with a simple preparation of like roast chicken, grilled shrimp, baked fish would be great. I think that's kind of where I'm thinking.
Very cool story. Thanks, Greg.
Got it.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.